All right, Coach, first just kind of talk us through this past week. I know it was a tough week for Gus. He had some tough decisions to make, and one of them was, letting go of Coach Roof and putting you back in charge of that defense. So just kind of what was the week like? Obviously, you've been in the same position the previous season. So what was the week like for you just getting ready, knowing you had the opportunity again to be defensive coordinator?
If I could describe it in one word, I'd say long, because you just lose so much time not finding out till Monday, and having maybe 4 or 5 hours on Sunday to work on them, and then all Monday morning, and obviously with having coach let me know and having meetings with the players and people blowing your phone up, I really didn't get started on them until really Monday evening, and so it just kind of trickled on to each day. So it was some long nights, man, but it was good. All the guys really rallied around me, the coaching staff rallied around me, so it was a pretty fun deal.
Addison, how different are you from last year to this year? I mean, what your experience going through this now? I mean, what do you feel like you've grown maybe from what happened last year and all the stuff through the offseason?
Absolutely, I definitely grown. Obviously, I'm a year older, and you meet with people, you pick up things from other guys, you look back and you self-evaluate things you can do better, whether it's preparation, whether it's practice, whether it's just game day, situational stuff. And so, yeah, I think I've grown a lot.
Obviously, there was a lot of criticism last year about the run defense. You guys gave up 5 yards total on the run. What went into that preparation for Arizona?
Well, first off, credit to our guys, man. They played their tails off. We dominated the line of scrimmage for the vast majority of the game, so credit to our players. And we really worked on the things that they were doing, not saying that we didn't work on it last year, because from a practice structure standpoint, it was very similar to what it was last year. We tweaked a couple different things later in the week to slow some things down versus trying to get reps, just especially the situational stuff, the third down stuff, the red zone stuff. We really slowed it down from what it used to be. From a run fitting standpoint, we were very similar to what we were last year. Our guys just did a better job, and I put them in better situations and better calls at times too.
Big change for the players, obviously. How would you describe how they adapted during the week? I mean, they seemed lively and engaged throughout the game.
Yeah, they were very they were very welcoming, when it first happened, and so they know what my standard is, and I'm going to be on them guys about everything and not let anything slide, and so they knew that. And so throughout the course of practice, there's some of the intensity throughout the course of practice when a guy messed up or this or that, then they know that, hey, we were getting it corrected right then and there. And I think that's one thing that I did better, and I will continue to do better moving forward, instead of trying to get reps, slowing it down and making sure, hey, we're not making the same mistakes.
Who were some of the top performers that you identified from the film today? I guess you probably talked with the players and went over the game. I know there was some individual efforts to help stop the run and things like that. Who were some guys that really stood out to you with their performance?
So the front seven played really, really well, all those guys. But if I had to say anybody that stood, I would say Ethan Barr probably played his best game of the season. He did a really, really good job of running the show and making the plays that he's supposed to make. And then the other guys, Malachi Lawrence, he's one that has not necessarily performed to the standard that we expect him to, but to see him go out there yesterday and get 2 sacks, I think that'd be a boost for his confidence as well down the stretch.
You guys, for the first 8 games or so, there was the pressure was there, but it just wasn't able to get the sacks. It was timely sacks. Felt like on Saturday you guys were able to do that. You guys got big sacks on third downs to really kind of stop drives with them. How pleased were you with the pressure you guys were able to put on Arizona's quarterback, and do you think that's something you guys can really improve on over the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, anytime you have four sacks, you're pretty pleased with it, but I do think we left some out there. And one thing we've been talking about is just pocket awareness, collapsing the pocket, and our interior guys, Ricky Lee and Matt Alexander, did a heck of a job collapsing the pocket where he couldn't necessarily step up, as we've seen at the last few weeks, quarterbacks escaping up the middle. And we weren't perfect by any chance. We still got room to grow there, but they did a better job there. And then our ends just collapsing it from the outside in. And a couple of those times we got our outside arm in and he was able to get out the pocket. But I think the effort once he got out the pocket was a lot better. Those guys chasing him down where the quarterback couldn't set and stop his feet, and we were still making him make errant throws or either just running out of bounds.
The last 2 weeks you've had injuries in the back end. You've had to rely on Chasen Johnson as a freshman. What have you seen from him this year to give you the confidence?
Chasen was a guy, when he came in day one, he had the right mindset, and he's worked his tail off to be prepared for this moment. And Chasen was a guy in the spring, we knew that he would play for us at some point. Not sure how much he would play, but he's earned the right to play, and he'll continue to play.
Is there a piece of advice or a coaching technique you got from Coach Roof during the time you worked with him?
Yeah, Coach Roof is a very, very smart dude, and schematically, he brought a lot of good stuff to us, and just his preparation. He really preps and he really dives a lot deeper than some guys, and just his daily preparation and just seeing how he did it, how he saw things, how he broke things down is things that I was able to see, okay, hey, I like this, I don't like this, and continue to grow myself. Because like I stood up here and said last year when I first got the opportunity, I've always tried to prepare myself for that next job. And so I've been trying to prepare myself as a coordinator. And so I was a coordinator last year, and then obviously Coach Roof coming in this year, I didn't put my head down and pout about it. I was, open ears, open minded, learning things from him, who's a guy that's done it for a long time.
So obviously there was changes on offense as well. It seemed like offense and defense, you guys kind of fed off each other, especially early on with the turnover and then going right down there and scoring. I know you've known Coach Harris, I guess as long as obviously he's been here, you've been here too. So what's that relationship like with you and Coach Harris?
Me and Coach Harris have a really good relationship, and obviously both of us being kind of thrust into this position on the same day. It was kind of crazy, but we kind of came together and like, look, man, we know that the guys are going to rally around us. We know that they're going to go out there and play hard. So let's give them the best possible plan that we can, and we'll be able to go out there and execute it. And it just worked out for us.
Gus talked last night about, giving up play calling duties allowed him to spend more time with the defense. You said he spent a lot more time with the defense than he had all season long. What was that like, having Gus kind of being, stepping in and maybe watching or giving advice or anything on defense? Maybe something he hasn't done earlier in the season.
Yeah, it was really good because Coach Malzahn is a very detail-oriented guy. And so if the tight end on the scout team stepped the wrong way, a lot of times you'll kind of let it slide as a scout team, but he's not letting it slide. If the receiver's supposed to crack the safety, he's making sure the receiver cracks the safety. If the quarterback's supposed to take a 3-step drop and throw the ball, he's making sure of that. And like I said, not saying that has not happened, but him being right there, everybody level of awareness and level of play is up. So it's been good having him over there, and he says he's going to continue to come on there, so he's always welcome for sure.
Obviously, until this offseason, you had coached with Coach Gibbs. He's now with Arizona State. How excited are you to see him this weekend? And also, what's something you learned from him?
It's going to be good to see Coach Gibbs, man. I talked to him actually this morning. He texted me because HUD played the last 3 snaps last night, so he was fired up about that, man. So that was pretty good. So it was a short text exchange, but that's what it was about. And things I learned from him, Gibbs is another guy that's been in the profession for a long time. And just situational stuff is what I would say I've learned from Gibbs. Just some of the third down stuff, some of the red zone stuff, and just the awareness throughout preparation and things that you need to prepare for.
In game, what changes did you make, coaches in the booth, on the field, the use of the tablets and these sorts of things? Any changes?
No, because I had already come down on the field. Coach Roof was up top, maybe the last 3 or 4 games, and so I thought about going back up top, but I didn't think that would be the best thing to do, so I stayed on the field. And then Ross New, who helped us with the linebackers this week and did a really good job, he was up in the booth.
What do you like about being on the field?
You can look into the guys' eyes, and you can see their energy. You can see when something's not right. You know what I'm saying? You can see when, okay, they got that look in their eye like we're finna really go play well. And just being able to feed off them able to feed off me and my energy, I think, is the best thing about being on the field.
It was obviously a tough stretch here the previous 5 weeks. Who amongst the players, did anyone step up and talk to the team player-wise? What kind of leadership did you see from some of your players to keep guys from, their heads might have been down? What did you see from that aspect, I guess?
It was multiple guys, but I would say the 2 guys that stood out the most was Lee Hunter and Ethan Barr. You saw those guys trying to continue to motivate guys each and every day.
And you saw, you were through the 5-game losing streak last year. Right. You saw the 5-game streak you guys went through this year. Yeah. What was the difference between the 2 seasons? I mean, did it feel the same for you? And what do you think this win could do for you guys with 3 games remaining? Do you guys think you can put together a winning streak ready to go?
So it was a little bit different because last year I was going through it as a coordinator. This year going through it in a different role. So it was a bit different, but being able to be awarded with this opportunity this past week, I knew that this was an opportunity to spark us the rest of the way. And the guys, like I said, they bought in, they did a really good job. But like I told them tonight, that's just one game. The honeymoon stage is over. How are we going to bottle that up and be better this coming week?
Obviously, you and Trevon have kind of worked that DB room all season. Now you're taking over the entire defense. Is the delegation of tasks kind of different between the 2 of you?
Trevon, he'll have a bit more things to do, but I'll still be over the secondary.
What do you know about Arizona State? I mean, pretty talented. They were picked, though, amongst the least, and now they're contending, and they've got a pretty good talented running back as well.
Yeah, they're a real talented team. They're balanced. They're averaging, I believe, 200 yards rushing, 200 yards passing, so that tells you that they're balanced. The quarterback's a good player, Sam Levitt. Obviously, Scatterbo, who you're talking about, he's the leading rusher, but he's also the second leading receiver. And then they have a receiver as well that's pretty good. I think he has maybe 550, 600 yards, so it's definitely going to be a challenge, but the main thing is going to be trying to find a way to contain Scatterbo.
What from Saturday's performance do you think you can build on that prepares you to get that win on the road?
Well, from Saturday's performance, I would say just really, it's going to be the preparation. That's what it's going to boil down to, the preparation and going out there and playing with that confidence. The one thing I will take from Saturday, those guys, they played confident the entire game. That's why you see them flying around and excited. But I tell them all the time, confidence comes from preparation. So we got to do a really good job as a staff, getting a good plan in place, and then they got to do a good job as players going out there and executing the plans. I tell them all the time, there's going to be times where we're in good calls, we got to make the plays. There's going to be times where we're in bad calls, but at the same time, players got to make plays. And that's the motto that we have moving forward. Players got to make plays, but us as a staff got to do the best job possible to put them in the best possible positions.
You guys all good?
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Coach.
Thank you.
Yep.